If you've watched many of my videos, you know that I love technology. And today's item is really sweet. It's actually by a company called Selpic, and it's considered the world's smallest printer. What? This is a printer? Absolutely. And that's what we're going to look at in this video. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. My channel is dedicated to reviewing mostly as seen on TV items. I look at some consumer gadgets, other household items. Once in a while, I do a little bit of a DIY just because I like to. If that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and click the bell below. That way, you're notified every time I release a video just like this one. Oh yeah, one more thing. Don't forget to check down the description for my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and newly TikTok. I would love it if you'd follow me there too. Now, let's see how the Selpic P1 world's smallest printer actually works. So let me cut this packaging open. All right, let's see. Oh, I thought it slid. It actually opens. All right, so it looks as though I have a QR code talking about my warranty. I've got my directions. I had the printer here itself. Well, that's pretty cool. It's got a spot right here to put the ink cartridge in, which must be in this box. And then I have a power cord and a cap. All right, so let's see what this ink cartridge looks like. Well, it's in a little baggie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through the directions, figure out the prep and setup, and then we're going to start printing. So the directions tell us our first step is to actually power this on and then pair it and then operate it and then charge it. I'm actually going to charge it first just because I think before you use anything you should always make sure it's charged. The directions do tell me that this light will be red and it'll stay on all the time until it's charged, and then it will be green. So let's do that first, and then we will install the ink. But while that's charging, we will hook up our app. So it does have this card with 2 QR codes that you're supposed to be able to scan with your computer camera. I'm just going to cover up the one for the iPhone, so my phone will detect the one for Android. There it is. It says you want to open the Play Store, so I said yes. And so what we are going to do now is we are going to install this app. And when this is finished, we'll bring you back. Let's open the app. I do not have an account, so what I'm going to do is I am going to register one and then log in. I tried for a while to log into an account, but there was this code that it wanted to have sent to your email, but every time I clicked the button to verify the code, it never got sent to my email. It kept telling me network timed out. So I actually logged in as a visitor. It gives me 2 different options. I'm going to click the bottom one. So I've turned on my device. Let me make sure this is unplugged. You can see that this is now fully charged. All right, so this button right here, a long press turns it on. All right, that's it next. So now I'm connected to a network. All right, we can approve our location. Hit next. Allow when using this app. I don't know why it needs to know our location. So my password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, I use that just for the video. Makes it easy. Okay, I'll allow it for this. All right, so what does that mean? I still don't have this connected. I think I figured out the problem. I was not connected to a 2.4 gigahertz network. Now let's try this. See if it connects. Let me enter my password. See if that now connects. Let's install the ink cartridge. So I'm going to separate it from this piece right here. So I just have the ink here. It looks as though I have a piece of plastic to peel off like I would a typical printer. Let me just leave that on for now just in case. All right, so then all I'm going to do is slide this in the bottom. Gotta line up. Oop, I almost had it backwards. All right, slide it right in, push it down, and if I want to release it, I push this button right here and pull it out. All right, so now that we have our ink cartridge in, let's see if we can set this up. So it looks as though after I installed my ink cartridge, I have now a green blinking light, which I think that's better instead of my yellowish green blinking light, and definitely better than the red one. So I'm going to now try to set some things up here on the phone to print and just see what it looks like. All right, so I just typed in a hashtag. Hope you can see that. Jeff Reviews for You. I'm going to hit done. And it looks like it says Jeff Reviews for You there. I wonder if I can now print this. Let me get a piece of paper. I couldn't find this anywhere in the directions, but a typical ink cartridge has a cover over top the ink part, so I just decided to try to pick at this blue thing here, and I was able to take it off. And that makes sense because that's what a typical ink cartridge looks like on the top. So now I'm going to try printing, but like I said, this was not outlined in the directions. I just hit send again. I've got a green light. I'm ready to print. Now I am going to push this button here as I roll. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. What does it say? Can you even read it? Oh, it's fuzzy. It did print. That's pretty cool. Now I'm going to check to see if I could print it any larger. So the app takes a little getting used to. Do you see how this lower Jeff Reviews for You has a blue box around it? Well, that means I'm editing it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to expand it. See how I just made it bigger with my fingers like that? So now I'm going to try printing that to see if it comes out larger. Tap the print button. Sending. All right, sending success. Now I'm going to hit that button again and roll it. Let's do this. You're not even going to believe it. That is super cool. I love it. All right, so in addition to doing text, you can also do pictures. So this app actually has some preloaded pictures, like these silly little bears, and you can click between different things. I think there's monkeys and all these different things. But the cool thing is you can actually go through your photo roll. So let me just look at my last thumbnail that I made. Oh, let's pick this one, and I'll bring it in. Hit the check. And look, it's right there in black and white. I'm looking forward to seeing how this prints. All right, so I'm going to zoom back out. We're going to click the print button, push the button, and roll. Now, it might not be very large, but look at that. It's pretty cool. Let me get a zoom in and focus. It actually printed it in black and white. How cool is that? So as I've been using this, I've noticed that it works better if you have it lifted up slightly. So this top part here, the front part here, is not touching the paper. Now, sometimes it will print normal. Watch this. I'll hit the button. I'm going to scroll it. And it printed normal. But if I do it a few more times, it may not. Same exact situation. And see how it just printed the bottom? So I found that if I had it up a little, just the same height as the wheel, it prints better. Watch. Let's try it this time. Push the button and roll. And there I have it. This is what I thought was kind of cool. See how I moved from left to right? Now watch what happens when I move from right to left. I'm actually going to go backwards. So I'm going to put it down here, hit the button, scroll it backwards. It actually made a reverse image. Isn't that pretty cool? How it, let me see if I can get a focus. Here we go. How the first time on the left, I went this way and it printed correctly. And this time I went backwards and it was a reverse image. Pretty neat. Now I want to test out printing on different surfaces. So here the first one I have is wood. I've just sent a picture to the printer. Let's see how it does. I'm going to let it sit there for a little bit, but as you can see, it printed well. I did stutter stop right here around the I and the E, so it's closer together. So I'm going to set that aside. Let me try a piece of plastic. push the button, and roll. All right, so I definitely spaced that out better because I moved quicker. I didn't stutter step. Let's set that aside. Let's try it on some glass. This one will be more challenging. All right, so I might actually just roll the glass. So I'm gonna hit the button and go. Well, that was actually pretty cool. All right, let's set that aside, and maybe I'll get some cardboard for my tissue box because I want everyone to know who these tissues are. Let's do this. All right, so I'm gonna let these sit for about 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna see if they wipe off using a paper towel. So, tell me, what do you think of the world's smallest printer by Selpic? Is it really that sweet? Is it worth $200? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna print this on the back of glass because I want you to see firsthand what it's like being printed, right? I will say the directions or the warnings say, do not look at this when it's printing, so I will be looking myself through the camera, and then I'll also have protective glasses on, but make sure you don't look at that. But let's check it out. It is pretty sweet. I'm gonna put it here, hold the button, and start rolling. It is pretty cool how it just prints it on there. And of course, if I look down this side, it says, Jeff reviews for you. Anyway, it's pretty cool. I almost forgot. I wanted to try it on cotton or a shirt. So here I have a shirt. Put my piece down, hold the button, and wheel. So it does faintly print on there. That's pretty cool. A lot of options. Let's check the permanency level of this ink on items here. Glass is the first one. This is one I believe it'll probably just wipe right off. I don't think it stands a chance, but let's just see. Yeah, it just wipes right off. And let's try the cardboard. This one, I don't know. It's more like paper. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's smeared. Maybe because of the material on the top here. My thoughts are with this, if you were to put a piece of tape over top of there, you would protect it. All right, let's try the piece of wood here. It seems to have dried. And of course, the plastic here, I think, is going to be the exact same way as the glass. Yeah, it just smears. Again, if you put a piece of tape over top of here, that would be more of a permanent thing because the tape would be protecting it. I've been thinking about all the different uses I had for this, and I thought about people who like to write in journals or keep up with a calendar or even just labeling your things. Check this out. I wanted to show you how long of a sentence or whatever you can write. So I'm going to start it down here and see how far it goes. Ready? Push the button, start to roll. Oops. All right, so it actually was going to be longer than the paper. I think that's kind of cool, actually. So I needed to make it a little shorter. But I did like how I could pick up and continue on in the next line. Let me just try that one more time. I think my battery's going out. That's pretty sweet. So you can just keep typing. And I thought I would get to an end where it would tell me I couldn't type anymore, but every time I finished the next word, it gave me another space. I'm like, I could have kept going on and on and on. All right, so I did want to show you this. This almost feels like it could be magnetic because you see how that just gets pulled in? This is the cap on the end. So that's pretty cool too. So you just sit here and stand. I think it's important to show the versatility of this little printer because watch, I'm going to start down here. Actually, I'll just start up here. And watch, I can hit the button and I can start writing and then I can curve up. I can curve down. I can go up again. I could do a whole lot of different things. Whatever I want, I can do. And so I think that's pretty cool. In this video, we've been looking at the world's smallest printer by a company called Selpic. I actually think this was an Indiegogo campaign. a long time ago, but now they sell it on Amazon. Like I said, it's about $200, and the replacement ink is about $50. Now, they do have different colors, but you can only use one color at a time. Of course, that makes sense. You put it in and take it out, and there you go, and swap it. They do say if you're planning on not using this for a while, to take the ink cartridge out and put it in that little protective case, but make sure you cover the bottom, maybe that little blue sticker or whatnot. And then if you haven't used it for a long period of time, you're supposed to use like 95% rubbing alcohol to clean the ink tip and then dry it off with a soft cloth. That just helps it with the printing. I think there are a lot of uses, right? Christmas cards, birthday cards, labeling books, just writing on different things. People who do crafting maybe want to have a printed go across the wood or whatever they're working with. I think it's really neat. I wish it would have worked better on glass and plastic, but you know what? It is a little inkjet printer. What did I expect? And like I said before, you can put a piece of tape over top just to protect the printing. If this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. I did want to show you the shirt that I stamped earlier. After going through the wash and dry, it got a lot lighter, but it stayed there and sort of like a brown. I bet this is going to be more permanent, or as I wash it more and more, it'll lighten up. So I wanted to make sure I followed up there. Plus, I was thinking of another use. Business owner, you have your own bags. You want to personalize what your bag says, and you can change it every single day. That's better than buying a stamp, because you can edit this every single day, whereas buying a stamp, you buy it and you're stuck with it. So this one, I can change it. It's pretty sweet and versatile. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of the world's smallest printer. It is actually pretty neat. You know what? Not that long ago, I did a review of something else that was really, really cool. And it was called the Tac Pen, a 9-in-1 tactical pen. It has a flashlight, it has a bottle opener, it has a pen, and maybe even something to break glass with. Well, you're going to have to check and see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link that video right up here, and I would love it if you would click on this link. And by the magic of the internet, when you click right here, I'm going to join you at that review. So go ahead, click it. It's safe. I promise.